And welcome back to Janky AF and Year of the Aerostar, episode 49. Closing in on 50 here, and today we have a very, very nice one. I'll preface this briefly by saying that my good buddy Evan and I shot a ton of Aerostar footage with our two Aerostars, and that'll be coming out in the coming months, probably around the holidays. A lot to edit, excuse me. But I bring that up to say, stay tuned to Janky AF and Janky do Thanky, but also as a little intro and proviso to the Aerostar we're going to feature today, and we'll get into it. But without further ado, here we have a beautiful, striking, stunning, handsome, dashing...
The handsome, dashing Ford Aerostar.
Elegant 1992 Ford Aerostar. Listed for just $1,200 in Savannah, Georgia. I've spent a little time in Savannah, Georgia. Enjoyed my time down there very, very much. So shout out to Savannah, Georgia. All right, well, seller's description. We'll get through the description. There's only, unfortunately, one picture. It's a single picture photo. And to all you would-be Aerostar sellers out there, or just sellers of any cars on the marketplace, or any other classifieds, Craigslist, all that, please throw a couple pictures in there. You know, it really helps if you're poking around and you're nosy about a vehicle, seeing the interior of the vehicle, seeing multiple angles of the vehicle, some close-up shots, really helps go a long way in piquing the interest of the potential buyer and, getting them that much closer to actually reaching out and making contact. Now this was listed, I usually don't say this, this was listed 26 weeks ago, so I don't know if it's still for sale or not, but a lot of times, these things just sit up there for a while, and I think a couple extra pictures would go a long way. That being said, no judgment, no harsh criticism, just a janky wish list of things I'd like to see. So, was my daily driver until a couple weeks ago. The good. And by the way, I love the good, the bad. When I list things on Marketplace, I always do the good, the bad. That's my template that I use. I just think it's very straightforward. It lets you sort of weigh what's going on, and it gives you a chance to put everything out there, both good and bad, that it has going for it, or things that may need to get serviced and such. So, the good. 3.0 V6 motor. And of course, Cousin Scott would not want to hear this, so we'll say engine instead of motor, because it is technically an engine, not a motor. But I'm just reading in verbatim here, so forgive me. V6 motor runs like a champ, in parentheses, absolutely purrs with multiple U's. New alternator, new belts and hoses, new water pump, new thermostat, new spark plugs and wires, new distributor cap and rotor, new pads and rotors up front. A lot of rotors. Tires good. Rear end serviced. I won't touch that with a 10-foot pole, but it's kind of a... Anyways, the bad. Needs battery. Can hook one up to show you how good the motor runs. Again, the engine. Which is funny because they've put all this service into the vehicle and it needs a battery. They have one, but they won't include it with the sale of the vehicle. Maybe it's a battery from another car and they're just being, a nice person by letting, you temporarily borrow theirs. But why not go ahead and chuck a new battery in there too? But I suppose for the price, it's fair. Again, with the bad, needs a transmission, so saving the best for last. Put a transmission in it and you have one badass boogie van. Excuse my French. Won't go lower on price, but willing to trade too. Let me know what you got. So, interesting that they put so much work into this and they're willing to trade for something. Why not just put a new transmission in? Of course, as an Aerostar enthusiast, that is always my answer. You can always fix it. But, if you put, it seems like you already got a couple thousand in this, you spend another, $1,500, $2,000, maybe if you do some of the work yourself, cheaper. I've seen Aerostar manual transmissions actually for sale for a few $100s. slapped it in there. But then again, for the prospective buyer, maybe you put a transmission in and it's pretty much ready to go, and for only $1,200, you got yourself a pretty nice van here. Some things to note, and we'll get into the aesthetics now. And the reason I brought up my good buddy Evan in the introduction is because he has a 1986 Aerostar that will be one of the 2 featured Aerostars in our video series, the 86ers, which is our little fake, not fake, but no official, we haven't official put it into paperwork or anything like that, but we have this little club called the 86ers, which is our 86 Ford Aerostar manual transmission vans. I actually sold his 86 to him, and that's a longer story, which we'll get into. However, his is a dark blue, and his is a semi-cargo van, and it has this panel completely painted. Now, he has put a lovely Street Beater logo on that. Perhaps we'll find some pictures for you. So I just thought that was very similar to his van in that way. And then second, he also is a big motorcycle enthusiast, and parked in front of this van we have this motorcycle. So I thought that just reminded me of Evan's van, and I thought I'd give him a little shout out for that. So perhaps if he's looking for another Aerostar, this 92 would be the one to get. Now this is a true cargo version. It has the cargo doors, as we can see here, with palm rose hand-painted signs. And I won't blur out the number because once you put a thing on Facebook, it's public. So a little free advertising for palm rose hand-painted signs. If you're in Savannah, Georgia, and you need a hand-painted sign, why not call Palm Rose? And it looks like it does say this picture is a little dark. Hopefully it'll be lighter when I throw it into the editing program and I can lighten it up a little for you, but it does look like it says Savannah, Georgia in a nice, beautiful hand-painted script down there. So obviously it shows off, though, the cargo doors, and these are beautiful cargo doors. I've always wanted a cargo Aerostar because those barn doors, the way they swing open, it just creates a nice wide berth, and also, your lift gate, a lot of the times, not that you can fix the struts on them, but a lot of times the struts fail. Just a cool another specification of the Aerostar that I really liked and I would like to have in my collection one day is a cargo Aerostar. So it is that, and it looks like it's actually an extended version as well, which is very cool. A lot of times the cargo versions you'll see a plain white standard length, not the extended cargo van. So the extended length cargo is also somewhat of a rare spec. So I like that. I couldn't even tell for a second if it was a standard or extended, because the rear bumper cover is missing here, and I'm searching in the dark here a little here in these pictures, but it does look to be an extended. It looks like there would be looks like it has that extra 12 or 16 or 18 inches, whatever it is, on the back of the Aerostar there. So it looks like an extended cargo version, a very rare specification. Looks like you have your old style wheels with your hubcaps on there. Looks like spray painted sort of like a matte gray, which I think actually looks quite nice. And just an overall very, very nice package here. Again, I wish we had some interior photos. I would like to see the back of this, if it's built out at all. I would like to see what the seats are like. I wonder if they're the vinyl seats, which came in a lot of the cargo versions of the Aerostar. And we don't really know. It is a 92, so it's sort of like, the post-facelifted Aerostars. Actually, I believe the first year, I think 92 is the first time they went to the modern, quote-unquote modern, the facelifted interior and all that. Looks like it does have the 3.0 liter V6 engine, which was the standard in all of the Aerostars after 87. Although I just saw another 87 listed that said it has the 3.0 in it, and it looks like it does. So maybe that was swapped, but maybe, maybe Ford was sneaking those 3-liter V6s in there, or having them as like an option that they didn't tell people about, because it does seem like some of those 3.0s got into the earlier Aerostars. If anyone knows anything about that, let me know. But that you're really diving into the annals of Ford, minutia there to actually find that information out for certain. All that being said, looks like it's in a lovely sort of park or something of that nature out in the wilderness here with their motorcycle. I wonder if they can fit this motorcycle. It looks like a pretty large motorcycle. It seems like they can fit it in the back of this Aerostar. I'm guessing that's where it was, or why they parked it next to it. And a beautiful logo here. I don't know if this is hand painted, presumably so, because it's a painted sign painting company. But a wonderful little, aesthetic detail in the metal panel that would replace your windows in your passenger Aerostar. a nice some sort of fighting eagle here with a sunrise, sunset motif going on. I like that very much, very pretty. So just a really cool Aerostar. And again, obviously your cargo door is very, very cool. And this would be a great project for someone to pick up. Slap a transmission in. Maybe while you're at it, you swap it over to a manual transmission. It doesn't actually say if it's a, I don't think, automatic or manual transmission, so we don't even know. A lot left unanswered here. A very mysterious Aerostar, but certainly a very intriguing one because there's a lot going for it. A very cool package. Obviously, you'd need to get a bumper cover, and boy, an extended length cargo rear bumper would certainly be a hard one to find because that, like I said, is quite rare. And these bumper covers are getting impossible to find. I have toyed with the idea of trying to make these. You'd have to get into 3D scanning and 3D printing, which I'm sort of, I think there would be a market out there. I know one person's commented already, and it might have even been Aerostar 93, commenting that we need these Aerostar bumpers remade, and there needs to be an aftermarket for them. I totally agree, and who knows, maybe if I get some time and resources, I can pursue that endeavor. But for now, you're going to need to track one down. So there you have it. Unfortunately, lack of images prohibits me from talking more in depth about this Aerostar. That's a shame, but certainly an extended length cargo Aerostar, very, very rare spec, 92, cool year, right in coming into the modern era, quote unquote, of the Aerostar. A lot of service done to it, and it's almost there. It just needs that transmission, like we mentioned. So there you have it. Another beautiful, intriguing, as I've said before, Ford Aerostar. Really cool one down in Georgia. Presumably it's largely rust-free, being a Georgia car, if it's lived all its life there. And it's certainly a good project for someone to take on and make their own, carry it on to the next iteration of whether it will be a pleasure vehicle or another business vehicle. Certainly a cargo Aerostar could help out with many, many businesses out there in terms of carrying stuff around and just being an all-around practical, versatile vehicle. So there you have it. We'll have another one coming very soon for you. We also have some different videos in the works. I took a trip to the Saratoga Auto Museum, a video coming out on that shortly, and some hopefully some cool reviews with some of Cousin Scott's vehicles coming soon too. So stay tuned for all that. Thank you to all our new subscribers. Really appreciate it. Just crossed over the 400 subscriber threshold, and we are grateful to each and every one of you that stick around and listen to me blather about Aerostars and all sorts of other automotive nonsense. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. This has been Year of the Aerostar on Janky AF, and until next time, Janky do Thanky.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.